The $5 latte isn't what's keeping you broke, and honestly, the advice to skip it is probably making things worse. While a daily coffee habit might add up to around $1,825 a year, that number by itself is a distraction. Focusing solely on small, discretionary purchases completely misses the far larger financial drains silently bleeding your bank account dry. These aren't the expenses you notice every day. They're the insidious, recurring costs that, over a lifetime, can easily add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even over $500,000. If you're serious about financial freedom, you need to understand where the real money is going, not just the obvious small stuff. But what exactly are these hidden costs, and how do they become so financially devastating? The true culprits are often fixed or semi-fixed expenses that we either set and forget, or simply accept as unchangeable. Think about your rent or mortgage payment, car loan, insurance premiums, or even your internet and cell phone bills. Unlike a latte, which is a conscious daily choice, these are automatic deductions that rarely get scrutinized after the initial setup. A $100 difference in your monthly rent might seem small, but over a decade, that's $12,000. Over 30 years, that's $36,000. And that's just one expense. When you combine several of these small differences, the impact becomes staggering. The problem isn't that you're spending money. It's that you're spending too much on things you could significantly reduce or optimize, and you're not even aware of the scale of the problem. So, where do most people go wrong when trying to identify these leaks? Most people only look at their bank balance or monthly income, not a detailed breakdown of where every dollar goes. This allows invisible money leaks to persist year after year. For example, that cable package you rarely use but costs $150 a month? That's $1,800 annually. Over 20 years, with a conservative 7% investment return, that's over $73,000 you could have accumulated. Or consider subscription services: Netflix, Spotify, gym memberships, software subscriptions. Individually, they seem small, but collectively, they can easily hit $50 to $100 a month. That's $600 to $1,200 a year, which, if invested, could become $25,000 to $50,000 over 2 decades. The key is that these are often automatic, forgotten, and never reevaluated. But how do you even begin to identify all these hidden drains? The first concrete step is a full spending audit. This means going through your bank and credit card statements for the last 3 to 6 months, line by line. Don't just glance. Categorize every single transaction. You'll be surprised what you find. Many banks and budgeting apps like Monarch Money, Mint closed in 2024, or a NAB can help automate this, but a manual review often reveals more. Look for recurring charges you don't recognize, subscriptions you forgot about, or services you no longer use. This isn't about shaming yourself for past spending, but about gaining clarity. Once you see the true picture, you can start making informed decisions. But simply identifying them isn't enough. The next step is crucial for actually stopping the bleed. After auditing, it's time to ruthlessly cut the fat. For every recurring expense, ask yourself, do I truly need this? Or is there a cheaper alternative? Can you downgrade your internet speed? Do you really need all those streaming services? Or can you rotate them monthly? Can you switch to a cheaper cell phone plan? Many Americans pay hundreds extra per year for unlimited data they rarely use. For instance, moving from a $75 per month unlimited plan to a $30 per month limited plan could save you $540 a year. Invested at 7% over 25 years, that's over $36,000. This isn't about deprivation, it's about optimizing. But what about the big expenses that seem impossible to change? Most people accept their bills as fixed, but almost everything is negotiable. Call your insurance providers, internet company, and even your credit card companies. Ask for better rates, discounts, or to simply match competitor offers. Many companies have retention departments specifically designed to keep you happy. A simple 15-minute phone call could save you hundreds annually. For example, negotiating a $20 per month reduction on your car insurance saves $240 a year, which, invested at 7% for 30 years, grows to over $22,000. Don't be afraid to switch providers if they won't budge. This proactive approach can yield significant returns for minimal effort. But what if your biggest expense is your housing or transportation? Housing and transportation are often the two largest expenses for most households, accounting for 50 to 70% of income. If you're struggling, these are the areas to scrutinize. Can you refinance your mortgage for a lower interest rate? Can you move to a slightly less expensive neighborhood, even if it's just a few miles away? Can you downsize your car, or even go to one car instead of two? Even reducing your car payment by $100 a month frees up $1,200 a year. Over 20 years, that's $24,000 saved, not including the potential investment gains. These decisions are harder, but their financial impact is exponential compared to a latte. The real wealth killer here is often lifestyle creep. How does that happen? Lifestyle creep is the silent killer of wealth. As your income increases, so do your expenses, often without conscious thought. You get a raise, and suddenly you're driving a nicer car, buying more expensive clothes, or eating out more often. This isn't inherently bad, but if your expenses rise at the same rate as your income, you'll never build wealth. The key is to consciously save and invest a portion of every raise before you upgrade your lifestyle. If you get a $5,000 raise, commit to investing $2,500 of it and then decide how to spend the rest. This intentionality is crucial, but many people fall into the trap of spending first, saving later. And that brings us to the most common, costly mistake. The single biggest mistake people make is not having a budget, or having one they don't stick to. Without a clear plan for your money, it simply vanishes. A budget isn't about restriction. It's about giving every dollar a job. It allows you to consciously decide where your money goes instead of wondering where it went. Here's what happens if you don't budget. You might overspend by just $200 a month without realizing it. That's $2,400 a year. Invested at 7% for 30 years. That small oversight costs you over $225,000 in lost wealth. That's more than the entire value of many people's homes. This isn't about avoiding lattes. It's about having a financial roadmap. So, what should your money actually be doing? Once you've identified the leaks, cut the fat, and negotiated better deals, you'll find found money. The critical step is to immediately redirect these savings into wealth-building activities. Don't let it sit in your checking account or get absorbed into other spending. Prioritize building an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Once that's solid, focus on high-interest debt repayment, like credit cards. After that, consistently invest. Even an extra $100 a month, if invested from age 25 to 65 at a 7% average return, becomes over $260,000. That's the power of compounding. This disciplined redirection is the difference between saving a few bucks and truly transforming your financial future. But what if you're already in debt and feel like you can't even start? If you're burdened by debt, the debt snowball or debt avalanche method can be incredibly powerful. Let's use the snowball method as an example. List all your debts from smallest balance to largest. Pay minimums on everything except the smallest debt, on which you throw every extra dollar you can find. Once that's paid off, take the money you were paying on it and add it to the minimum payment of the next smallest debt. This creates a snowball effect, building momentum and freeing up cash flow. Imagine you free up $300 a month by cutting subscriptions and negotiating bills. That $300 aggressively applied to debt could eliminate a $5,000 credit card balance in less than 2 years, saving you hundreds in interest. This focus allows you to tackle the real financial burdens. But what's the long-term impact of these changes? These seemingly small changes, when implemented consistently over time, create massive wealth. Consider someone who finds an extra $500 a month by optimizing their big expenses and actively redirecting those funds into a Roth IRA or 401k. If they do this for 30 years, investing at a modest 7% annual return, that $500 a month grows to over $610,000. That's a life-changing amount of money, far exceeding the impact of skipping a few lattes. The secret isn't penny pinching. It's about identifying the truly significant financial leaks and systematically plugging them. It's about proactive money management, not reactive austerity. This is how ordinary people build extraordinary wealth. But there's one final, crucial piece to truly locking in these gains. The biggest takeaway is that financial freedom isn't about cutting small comforts. It's about addressing the large, often invisible, expenses that drain your wealth over decades. Start your spending audit today. Identify those leaks and immediately redirect your savings. This active management of your money is the true path to wealth. If you're now wondering how to make your money work even harder once you've saved it, watch our video on the retirement account mistake costing you $200,000 next for a deep dive into optimizing your investments. And don't forget to subscribe for more actionable personal finance strategies.